Chris, happy birthday. You just celebrated your third birthday the last time Forest won at Old Trafford, and judging by the celebrations there, this feels like a historic day. Will it mean a lot for the club and the supporters who've travelled today?
Look, definitely. I think it's shown where we've come from and where we're wanting to get to. Come to a place like this is never easy, and we want to come challenge ourselves and believe in ourselves to get the win here, and that's what we came to do.
What areas did you try and exploit?
Well, we just try to play our game and what we were working on. It's been a long week, a long tough week, but 6 points out of 9 has been fantastic.
With your header, are you looking to hit that back post? Were you looking to get it back into the danger zone? What was the thinking? It was a lovely cross.
Look, it's just finding an area. I mean, Morg's putting a beautiful ball. I mean, it's pinpoint straight on my head, which is nice. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah, just trying to find an area that if it causes some confusion, it might drop in. 10
for the season, and I'm sure you're aware you are now Nottingham Forest record Premier League goal scorer. So many congratulations. What does that mean to you and your family?
Look, it's fantastic. It's nice that I can keep doing well for the team, and that's what I want to do. Keep pushing up and keep getting as many goals as possible for this team, and just see where it can take us.
How long can you keep that record?
Exactly, and just keep pushing as far as I can to sit in stone for a long period of time.
Well played.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks.
Well played indeed, and the 10 league goals that Chris Wood has scored are very special goals, and especially to score on his birthday. And then have a look at the league table, because this is what it means. They're up to 5th. It's actually something really special at this club that Nuno is creating now.
Yeah, but it's an amazing football club with amazing history. But you talk about Chris Wood there, you know, he's a goal scorer, and you know he gets into areas. It doesn't really complicate anything. You know, he's a focal point when he needs to be, holds the ball up, brings people in play, and he always gets himself in the box where he's going to score goals. You know, and he's efficient in the final third. He's brave, and you know, to score 10 league goals, you know, at this stage of the season is amazing, and you can see him getting a lot more.
Yeah, let's have a look at his goal, shall we, Owen? This was the goal that took it to 3-1, and he just seems to be in such good form this season.
I'm not sure he's trying to score here, Seema.
No.
I think, first of all, they do really well to win the second ball. Gibbs White, how can you give a guy that good that much space? I think he's just trying to head this back across goal. But he's smart. He knows, because the ball's that high, he probably can't get enough power on it to actually head it in the goal. So he kind of heads it back. But again, you've got to get to Gibbs White. You know, great delivery. The guys just puts that into an area, puts the defenders under pressure. Yeah. But when they're a bit unlucky, aren't they, Delicted Martinez?
Yeah, I think you have to stop it at source. I think when you've got like a presence like Woods in the box, surely, you know, you stop it. You have to block the cross. You don't want that ball to go in the area. So I think even the detail around that, you have first of all, you stop the cross. Don't let it even go in there. But people just standing off him. And like I said, he's got a lot of quality, Gibbs White. And he puts it into the right area, you end up conceding.
And as I mentioned earlier, now Chris Wood is Nottingham Forest's all-time top goal scorer. And you know, as a striker, what those accolades mean. It's very, very special to hit those milestones.
It is special. I mean, you look at the list there, Brian Roy, Stan Collymore, who's someone who I looked up to, you know, fantastic centre-forward. Stuart Pearce, what's he doing there?
But, yeah, scored some goals from.
I know, penalty, yeah, but like, I mean, it's amazing. You know,
actually, the last time that I mentioned that Forest actually won at Old Trafford, Stan Collymore and Stuart Pearce both scored in that game.
Oh, really?
They did.
But like, he'd be delighted with that. But even when you see in the interview there, his demeanour, you know, he's someone that wants to, you know, continue to score goals, and you never know what they can achieve at the end of the season.
Well, that was my next question, actually. What do you think they can achieve? I mean, it's very, very tough at the top of the table, but they are currently 5th. They're just a couple of points behind Man City at the moment.
Well, I think it's tight from 2nd to, like, 10th even. You know, but the thing is, nobody's going to want to play them. And I think also, you know, we saw what Villa did getting into the Champions League. While you're there, they'll be thinking, can we get back into Europe? You know the history that they have in Europe. Could you imagine them getting back into the Champions League? That would be a remarkable story.
Huge for the club. OK, well, let's now shift our attention to Manchester United and hear from their boss, Ruben Amorim.
Well, Ruben, not the result you wanted, obviously. What are your thoughts on the game right now?
Tough game. We start really bad in the first play. We suffer a goal, and then it's hard in this context to try to fight that. But we then controlled the game. We had a lot of situations. We improved, I think, the movement in the last third, especially in the beginning of the first half after the goal of Nottingham. But then we block a little bit the game. We managed to draw the game, and then in the half time we were ready to go for the win, and then start again really bad. 2 goals and then we try everything with not a lot of quality, but we try it. And then we lose the game. We didn't have many situations to score. We had some, but tough game in the tough moment, but we have to continue the job.
You said about the poor starts to both halves. That first goal after Wednesday, corners, is that extra disappointing for you?
Of course, and we are just focused on that. We had 2 days when we focused a lot on that, but they managed to score again. It's hard. It's hard for the team because I think the team felt a little bit. The public also felt that moment, and you can feel it. But like I said, this is a long journey. We have to continue. We are improving in some aspects. We have to win games to help us to improve the team.
Do you learn more from defeats than you maybe do from victories, from your players, about your players and about the job that you've got?
You pay more attention. But in this moment, even if you win, we are in the start of something so big that we pay attention in every detail. And we'll be there again. The next game and the next game. That's it. That we already know that is a big job. So we have to continue.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thank you very much.
2 wins from 5 for Ruben Amorim. He said it's a long journey ahead, which it will be because he's still getting to know this team and still getting to know his players. What do you think he can achieve with this club this season, with this set of players? Because he does say it's a long journey and it feels like there's still a lot of work that needs to go on.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say is he's a great communicator. He's a great talker, and that's even off the back of a loss. So I think it was interesting, he said, we tried, but without much quality. You know, that's a pretty
big statement.
Pretty big statement also from the manager. So it's going to take some time to figure it out. But the thing I like is he's really open, he's really honest, and I think he's quite critical when he needs to be. So he realises they got to up the standards. But what are they, 12th, 13th?
13th.
I mean, the dream was probably to get to Europe, but that's looking pretty unlikely. They need to go on a little run here. Obviously, City next, that's...
With Europe in between as well.
Yeah, but they'll win the game in Europe. You know, that shouldn't really be an issue. But then obviously City. So I think the fixtures-wise, you know, the Bournemouth, with Bournemouth Wolves coming up, you know, they are winnable ones, but they need to find a way to get a few more wins and climb up that league table.
They certainly do. And he also spoke about the poor starts to both halves.
Yeah.
So let's take it right back to the beginning. And in 1 minute 91 seconds, they were already behind.
Yeah,
1 minute 31, sorry, my maths is terrible.
Yeah, and you know, you can never come into leave the game too early. I mean, you see here, you have to be dominant. You know, set pieces, you always want to try and make first contact. And you see here, the setup's quite good. You see, and it's just a little bit of movement, and it's just not strong enough.
Well, and the thing is, there's only 3 of them marking, Jermain.
Yeah.
He's meant to mark Milinkovic, but obviously we saw him walking off. He's massive. You know, he looked like an American football player, and he was just too big and too strong for Martinez.
For Martinez, even then, he didn't even jump, and he couldn't jump, to be honest, because I think when he just held him there, you know, it was just not strong enough.
Yeah, and to go behind so quickly in the game, you're already, you know, struggling from the start. But then Rasmus Højlund took it to 1-1, and you noticed that Bruno Fernandes was really important in the build-up.
Yeah, it's really nice, actually. You know, it's a really nice little layoff, bit of patience, and really good football. Obviously, Garnacho was a little bit unlucky, good save from Sales, but Højlund's there, and that's the thing. You know, this is Bruno in that, you know, number 10 position. He's obviously being marked. He comes to the ball, he's saying, and he says to De Ligt after, pass me the ball. You know, he's demanding it. So as it recycles, he's waiting for that moment. It's really interesting. Watch him. He drops off a couple of yards in behind because he's trying to create that space. And then he creates the moment. That little triangle between De Ligt, Fernandes and Ugarte, a little set is perfect, and then they're off. And that's what Amorim wants. He wants to create these little triangles all across the pitch. Really good football, but it was instrumented by Bruno Fernandes. He was almost coaching out there on the pitch saying, De Ligt, you've got to play the ball in the right time. And the weight of it was perfect. We'll see on another goal where they try the same thing and they get it wrong.
How important is Bruno in this setup for Man United in terms of what they can achieve this season?
Well, Jermain, I was amazed he went off. You know, he created that goal,
And then,
you know, scored another, and for some reason, the crucial part of the game, when you need a goal, you take him off. If anything, he's the guy right now. Him and Ahmad are the two where you'd say
keep them on.
They're gonna create you something. So I'm guessing he'll probably regret that because I thought Bruno was the one guy that was Everything was running through him, wasn't it?
I think everything goes through him. And even with the goal there, Højlund's goal, you can see that he's coaching it. So he's coaching it, and that must be massive for a manager. That's why when he come off, we were a little bit surprised. I was like, why is he taking him off? Couldn't understand why he came off.
Interesting decision there. Okay, and then early in the second half, again, it's the story continuing where they concede pretty early, Jermain.
Yeah, again, it's for me, it comes from the goalkeeper. To be honest, he gets it here, and so I just can't understand sometimes. Even goalkeepers think, right, sometimes you just got to go over the pressure. But you see, they get it here. And with the first half, we spoke about obviously the connection between the players, and they're trying to play out and that, and it's just a misunderstanding really. And then I mean, when you watch it, here again, like they try to play out, fair enough and that, and then there's the connection here. Bruno Fernandes, I thought there's a triangle there that we saw in the first half, but then I thought, you know what, if he could maybe take 2 touches though, just to sort of like play in his path.
It's not a great ball from Bruno, but Euro overruns it, and then obviously Gibbs White gets into a good spot. You see Onana, you can see it. Everyone's going to say this is Onana's fault. It looks like he should save it, but when it spins away from him at the end, watch it goes from left to right, and I think that probably just throws him a little bit. He thinks that's going to go into the bottom right corner of his. But Gibbs White, people that can strike a football, they can hit it both ways. They can hit it with spin that way, or they can cut across it and it goes into the other corner. I think the spin actually is just done Onana a little bit. He still probably should save it. But again, that we saw on the build-up, the way they were trying to build up. Euro, Fernandes, they probably didn't understand the distances.
Yeah.
And, and then again, when you make mistakes against teams like Nottingham Forest, you're going to get punished.
What kind of skill level does it take to put that much spin on a ball like that?
I think, in situations like that, we're talking about it like I think you just got to hit the target, but it's practice. Players do it in training. They're trying. Owen was amazing at it. Try and get that sort of like dip on the ball. When you hit the middle of the ball, but when you watch it, you still think, God, he could have done better. But I understand that it moves towards the end, and he's sort of like leaning that way because you expect it to go this way. Naturally the ball goes the other way, but then you still look at it and think he gets a hand to it. So that's why probably I'm thinking maybe he could have done a little bit more.
But his weight's already going this way. He thinks it's going there, and then the spin does him at the end. So it's just like, I think when he sees it back, he'll probably think, I made my mind up too soon.
Yeah.
If he was set, then he probably would have said, I think he just got shifted there, and once your balance is there, you can't get back.
Well, we saw Chris Wood's goal to take it to 3-1. Let's have a look at Bruno's goal. So this takes it to 3-2. His first goal of the Ruben Amorim era. What did we make of this one, then?
Oh, watch this ball. Bruno, stop it. Great little switch outside. And Ahmad, you'd love watching Ahmad play. He just gets after people. What a chop that is. And Bruno just sits into his little pocket. But we're going to see it from this angle, Seema. It's so interesting. There's so much detail in this. And this is how smart Bruno is. Jermain, it's really interesting, isn't it? He's like, he realises, I can't get it here, and I got to create an angle for him. Keep moving, Seema. And it's brilliant. Keeps moving. Great way to pass
the way
from
to pass,
Ahmad.
yeah.
That's a fabulous goal.
I think there's just so much in this goal. I think initially the pass from Bruno, the quality to do that, I think he's probably the only one in the team that could do that. And then to have the sort of like football intelligence to know that actually everyone's running back towards their own goal. You saw Rashford sort of like running in beyond, and Bruno sort of like just hangs back a little bit. And then obviously the way to pass, but then the finish at the end of it is brilliant.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Well, look, there you can see the Premier League table. Manchester United are 13th in the table, 19 points from their opening 15 games. I just wonder now, as we look ahead, of course, you mentioned they have the derby, Manchester derby, coming up next weekend. And obviously every game is now important, isn't it? Especially if they want to climb further up the table. We talked about team selection at the start. He made 6 changes for the Arsenal game. He made another 4 changes today. Do you think he's any closer to finding his best 11? Or are you expecting more changes to still come?
Probably not yet. I was surprised Mazraoui didn't play. I think he's been Man United's best player this season. But he probably wanted to maybe give somebody else an opportunity. Obviously, Luke Shaw, he came back and now he's back out. So he hasn't been able to find a settled team. I do think his team, in the end, will be Mazraoui, Euro, Martinez. I think that would be his back 3. Obviously, Mainu was back in there, but he hasn't had a settled back 3. He hasn't had a settled midfield 2. And at the top of the pitch, he's rotating. I think he's trying to find who's going to fit in this formation.
You don't think Rashford will get in the team?
I think he's an option, but none of the boys at the top of the pitch are undroppable, outside of Ahmad, maybe. I think he's playing as a wing-back.
I think the manager's probably just desperate for players to perform. Then it makes it easier for a manager to pick the team. You know, when players ain't performing and you end up just changing it all the time because you're just so desperate for these performances, but they're just not coming.
And there is no easy game. I mean, there's never an easy game in the Premier League, but look at who they've got to come. They've got a derby against Manchester City. They've got Spurs, who are fighting for top 4 as well. Bournemouth are playing so well this season. OK, Wolves might be a slightly easier fixture on paper, but then, you know, Liverpool and Arsenal to come later on, Brighton as well. The games are really coming thick and fast over this period up until January.
If you play for Manchester United, no matter who's on those fixtures, you should be able to beat everyone. End of. That's why you go there. It's to win trophies, to be the best. So obviously they're not right now 13th. I could have never imagined after 15 games they'd be 13th.
And also saying that they're hoping to climb above Forest in the Premier League table should they win today. You just wouldn't think it, would you?
But it was interesting he used the word team, Amorim, before the game.
Yeah.
He said that, you know, they need to play more as a team. United, they've got a lot of great individuals. They've got to put it together as a team. That's the only way they're going to climb up that league table. OK,
let's head straight back to Old Trafford and get some more reaction, this time from the Nottingham Forest boss, Nuno Espirito Santo.
Well, Nuno, you must be very, very satisfied with pretty much everything today, I would think.
Yeah, there are not too many things to be upset of. I think the boys did amazing. We have the luck of the game. Scoring in the first action makes everything different. And after that, I think we played good. We were together. Moment of lack of focus to allow the 2-3. So we felt that United is gonna respond. But I'm happy, of course.
This is something you're making a habit of. You've scored first now in 12 of your league games this season. What is the secret to that?
The players, the belief of the players, believing that every minute, every action is important. Not only the beginning of the game, but the beginning of the second half was very good for us. It was very good, the way we recovered the ball so high, achieving the goals, the composure. It was good. It was good. I think the team is growing, improving. We still have things to address, but it's been nice, the road that we are doing together.
Did you ask the players to pick the pace up, to really go for it at the start of that second half? Because what a lightning start it was.
Look, at half time is about trying to get the details right, what you see. You know, for example, in the first half, we were organized, but we were allowing United to break to the middle and immediately go for the wide areas. It has to be the other way around, so it was adjusting details, and after it's the work of their belief, their quality. Yeah.
And we talk about details. Did you talk about corners particularly in the build-up to this, given United's struggles that they had in the week?
No, we do. Look, nothing has changed the preparation of the game. The only difference was a big ask for us to come to Manchester in 3 days' time after such a tough moment at City, against City. But we prepare always the same. I believe the consistency of the set pieces is what gives you success. So keep doing the same things until we achieve it.
And after defeats at Arsenal and City, just how much of a boost is this to get back on the road and get back winning again?
It's very, very important always to bounce back after a bad result. I truly believe against City we didn't do a bad performance. I knew that it was going to be hard. It's going to be hard to come here again. That's why I think fresh legs made a difference in the game, during the game. Having fresh legs to go. And I'm very happy with the players that come in and give energy, impact the game, help the team. By saying that, it's important that we realize that the togetherness is basic and fundamental in this league because it's so competitive.
Well, there's such a positive feeling about Nottingham Forest at the moment. Obviously, when you're winning, that happens. But credit to the manager. How much do you rate him, Jermain?
A lot. I think you have to give him credit. 5th in the league. We spoke about, beginning of the season. Really exciting team to watch. They've got good players. They've got so many good individuals. They've got a way of playing. Don't really change the team too much, does he? So players, it's so important to have that sort of rhythm. But they've been brilliant. They deserve so much credit.
First manager since Frank Clark for Nottingham Forest to win at Old Trafford. Yeah,
good team, good manager. I think Jermain makes a good point. They don't really change the team all the time. You look at your team that are successful, they pretty much play the same players. Liverpool are doing it, Arsenal are doing it. Man United, you couldn't pick their best team right now. It changes all the time. So they have a bit of consistency there. But it's quite a story, really. And the thing is, from the squad that they had a couple of years ago to what they have now, they do not have a bad player in the starting 11. They've done a really good job with the recruitment. Starts with the keeper and the defence, but at the top of the pitch, they've got difference makers. And they're just They're just a really good football side right now.
They are, aren't they? Just final thoughts now on Manchester United. Of course, Ruben Amorim now has a few days before Europe to work with this place. What's his priority, Jermain? What's he going to be doing?
I can imagine there'd be a lot of information for the players that you have to take on board. At this level, you have to take all the information on board. For a new coach that comes in, it's not easy. It takes time. I mean, the ideal situation is to, I suppose, go into a job pre-season where you can have a pre-season tour, have games, work for 6 or 7 weeks, and then the season starts and you've got time. But, once you come in at this stage of the season, it's not easy.
It's not easy at all, certainly in the Premier League. Well, Jermain, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your company as well, Owen.
Where do you think Manchester United and Nottingham Forest will end up in the Premier League table? Now let's talk about Manchester United Football Club. Manchester United is one of the biggest and well-known football club in the world. They have the record of 20 league titles, 13 FA Cups, 6 League Cups and 21 FA Community Shields. In international football they have won the Champions League 3 times, Europa League and Cup Winners' Cup, Super Cup, Intercontinental Cup and FIFA Club World Cup 1 times each. However, they have not won the Premier League title since 2012-2013 season, coinciding with the departure of their famous coach Sir Alex Ferguson. Since then Manchester United came second 2 times. In 2017-2018 season with Jose Mourinho as manager and then again in 2020-2021 season. Other than that they never came close to challenging for the title. The recent appointment of a new young coach in Ruben Amorim seems to galvanise the team. Will he be the one to lead him to reclaim their glory days? Opta Analytics predict Manchester United to finish in the 8th position at the end of the season. With the promise of a new manager bounce, we think 6th or 7th position is likely. What do you think? Let's talk about Nottingham Forest Football Club. Nottingham Forest entered this Premier League season aiming to build on their successful fight for survival 2 years in a row. Under manager Nuno Espirito Santo, the club made strategic moves in the transfer market, blending youthful talent with experienced players to solidify their squad. With a 3rd consecutive top-flight season in sight, the focus has been on consistency and ensuring their status as a Premier League club. Forest's performances so far have been quite good considering their survival fight the past seasons. Key players like Morgan Gibbs-White and Taiwo Awoniyi have continued to drive the team forward, with Gibbs-White excelling as a creative force and Awoniyi's physicality causing problems for opposition defences. New signings such as Anthony Elanga have added dynamism, while the defensive organisation led by Nikola Milenkovic has ensured they remain competitive in tight matches. The team has shown a noticeable improvement in away form, a significant issue last season. Gritty performances against higher-ranked teams have won him crucial points and boosted confidence. This results in the high position they enjoy currently. Expectations for the season surely must be more than survival this time. There is a growing sense that Forest can aim higher, potentially securing a top 10 finish. The squad's depth will be tested during the grueling Premier League calendar, particularly in the coming months. Nuno's ability to manage his players and adapt tactically will be crucial to achieving their goals. The City Ground faithful continue to be an integral part of Forest's success, providing unwavering support that has turned their home into a fortress. If they can maintain their fighting spirit and capitalise on their key players' form, Nottingham Forest could emerge as one of the league's surprise packages this season. Supercomputer Opta predicts 12th position for the club. We have a feeling they might even go higher, possibly top 10. Where do you think Nottingham Forest will end up? Give your thoughts below.